So I had tested the airplane a lot in the backcountry to see how it handles in the Ozarks and flying over trees and short field landings and all these things. But I know that not everybody who's going to buy these aircraft are flying in this situation, and some of them are flying at higher altitude, some of them are flying over sea level and things like that. And we decided to put the airplane through a test. So we wanted to see how the airplane handled flying at the highest airport in North America. Leadville is just west of the mountain range in Colorado Springs, Denver area, and its field elevation is right at 10,000 feet. If you have a little heat, it goes up even higher. Our density altitude when we flew out there was at 12,000 feet. We're actually hanging out with a good buddy of mine that flew F-15s, Rhett. He's got an extra and a bunch of other aircraft, but we were hanging out and decided to kind of fly around on the east side of the mountain range just to see kind of how it performed before popping over to Leadville. And we were flying around Pikes Peak and kind of doing some formation and stuff like that with Rhett's extra. And I was absolutely blown away because I was at 14,000 feet, actually 14,200 feet, and my climb rate was still 700 feet a minute. And we went up to 14.5 and flew over Pikes Peak, and the airplane had no problem, which, okay, sure, yeah, I've flown jets and I've flown different things that can go high, but what was really impressive in this airplane is that it doesn't have a turbocharger. It's a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine that has so much power that even at 14,000 feet, it was able to still continue to perform and continue to climb. And I want to continue to take it into Utah and some other places that have higher elevations, but I was absolutely blown away at what both the wing loading and the high power performance, even at high altitude, the airplane was really, really capable. Once we knew that it would handle that altitude just fine, we went over to Leadville, through a couple passes and flew out of Leadville. And even with that, my takeoff roll was only a couple hundred feet. I was still able to climb really well. And we had a FPV pilot, Christian Ohala, went out there and he was doing a lot of chasing. And there's some really cool shots of him doing barrel rolls around me and kind of skimming some treetops. And even at 12,000 feet density altitude, the airplane flew way better than a lot of other Cubs that I've flown at much, much, much lower altitudes. It just handled it really, really well. So that was a fun trip to just kind of proof of concept that the airplane handled those high altitudes really, really well.